Young and the Restless spoilers for October 13 to 17 focus on 3 new characters on the CBS soap opera. Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, being stalked while she's with her new guy, and Kyle Abbott's Michael Mealer, overly desperate move. People who have flown into LA from Genoa City will find a lot of excitement in this new LA tale, which will debut next week and has a massive recast and 2 new characters. Kyle told Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, and Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, this week that he couldn't let Claire go. He cannot let her go. Kyle is so anxious to win Claire back that he's considering doing something extremely stupid that would only make him make the same mistake again. And his parents are really worried about the decisions he's made recently. Kyle worries that Claire will understand their relationship was never truly loved if he gives her the distance she requested. However, Kyle has already pushed her too far, such as when he asked her to marry him, and didn't give her time to heal after learning of his betrayal of Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. Claire dumped him because she had had enough. Kyle is opposed to letting Holden Novak, played by Nathan Owens, grow closer to Claire. Everything was made worse by Kyle's angry remarks to her about traveling to Los Angeles and meeting Holden there. Kyle is going forward with his plan to follow Claire to Los Angeles and attempt to win her back, even though Jack and Diane have warned him not to. Kyle will push Claire farther away and straight into Holden's arms, which is obviously the worst thing he could do. However, Kyle will follow his own wishes. According to next week's spoilers, Kyle asks Victoria Newman, Amelia Heil, Claire's mother, for information. Victoria is uncomfortable with the conversation, but Kyle presses her. He is pleading with Victoria to let him know Claire's lodging location in Los Angeles. Kyle only needs an address because he is positive Victoria knows where her daughter is staying. Kyle probably won't stop until he gets it, whether Victoria gives it up or not. In a short while, Kyle will be flying to Los Angeles to find Claire. However, it doesn't appear to be the amorous reunion he had hoped for. Because Holden has lost all sense of reality, Claire will grow closer to him and farther away from Kyle. In addition, according to next week's Young and the Restless spoilers, Claire and Holden are out and appear to be enjoying Vespers in LA, their go-to James Bond-inspired beverage. Their drinks are being served by none other than Tamara Braun. Next week, she will make her Y&R debut as Sienna Bacall. She is someone who knew Holden while he was living in Los Angeles full-time, prior to the Dumas drama, when Damian Kane, Jermaine Rivers, was present. You know what? Audra is also familiar to this new character. Sienna approaches Claire and Holden and inquires as to whether they are a couple. Sienna jokes that anything is better than the last woman Holden hung out with, referring to her as Audrey something, while Holden responds that they are simply really close friends. Claire smirks at that. With her appearances on General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, and other soap operas, Tamara Braun is a fantastic addition, and Sienna sounds like an intriguing addition. Next week, Lucas Adams will make his recast debut as Noah Newman, bringing us another new face. Another character from Days of Our Lives is this one. It's fun that they're both joining Y&R together, because Tamara Braun played his mother there. As you may remember, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, were scheduled to travel to Los Angeles together. However, Nick became stranded in Genoa City due to the Kane issue, so he sent Sharon ahead to visit Noah. According to previews, Sharon contacts Nick the following week while sobbing uncontrollably and claiming that Noah was involved in a serious vehicle accident. To be with his family, Nick would probably board a plane and fly to Los Angeles. Given that Y&R recently revealed Lucas Adams' casting, it's safe to assume Noah lives, but there may be more to the narrative than a straightforward auto accident. Perhaps Noah's involvement with the wrong people in the nightclub sector caused the disaster. That might be related to Detective Burrows, who will make his debut next week and is portrayed by the attractive Matt Cohen. Fans may know him from Supernatural or General Hospital. He may soon be grilling Sharon and Nick on the accident when he makes his appearance on Thursday. Additionally, another newcomer, Roger Howarth, is anticipated soon. His debut is scheduled for late October or early November as the sweeps begin. Additionally, Kane informs Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, that he is suing Newman Media for defamation. Kane gave Chelsea an exclusive because he had something up his sleeve. Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, to whom they report this, is completely indifferent. However, Kane assures that the ending of their next story would be drastically different. Even though Victor isn't concerned, Chelsea and Adam are. Kane and Michelle Stafford's character, Phyllis Summers, are working on a major project. Prior to that hit piece, they were retreating, but Kane's was heated up for retribution. Next week, their plan will be fully revealed. Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, meantime, is scheduled to depart Genoa City shortly in order to receive medical care in London. She informed Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, that she was leaving, which meant that Kane would have to deal with his PR crisis by himself, and that Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, would have to deal with the consequences of his decisions by himself. That concludes next week's I&R News, which will be packed with splits, court cases, and new characters appending Genoa City and Los Angeles. Don't pass it up. Genoa City will be shaken by peril, despair, and fresh starts next week on The Young and the Restless. 3 enigmatic newcomers arrive, each with secrets that might completely upend the community. Kyle Abbott's fervent appeal for love could end spectacularly, and Claire Grace is in the crosshairs of a terrible threat that never goes away. Fans of Y&R, get some coffee because this week's drama is sure to be unforgettable. Claire Grace has been working to repair her life ever since she found atonement and a new beginning with the Newmans. She is resolved to show that she is more than the shadow Jordan placed over her, even though the guilt of her past still consumes her. The tranquility she has worked so hard to achieve, however, is destroyed the next week because someone is observing her. Little things like a phone call that ends as she answers are the first signs. A simple message that reads, "You can't hide forever," was left on her car. Claire initially tells herself that she is being paranoid. After all, she may never fully recover from the wounds caused by the trauma she experienced as a result of Jordan's manipulation. The evidence, however, then becomes indisputable. She spots a silhouette outside the Abbott gate one night, and when she screams out, it vanishes into the night. Later, she discovers a picture of herself and Harrison at the park, taken from a distance, hidden beneath her door. Panic strikes. Claire, shaky and terrified, rushes to Victoria Newman, the only person who has been her steadfast supporter recently. As Victoria embraces Claire and swears, "No one will ever hurt you again," her mother instincts take over. "You are now secure." Claire isn't persuaded though. The feeling of being pursued is too intense and too specific. Jordan may not have been acting alone, and she begins to suspect the horrifying truth. As Claire's life falls apart, Kyle Abbott experiences his own problems, this time related to his emotions. Another disastrous turning point has occurred in his complex connection with Summer Newman. Following weeks of stress, miscommunications, and emotional miscommunications, Kyle finally understands what he's going to lose. Tired of waiting for Kyle to decide what he really wants, Summer has started to distance himself. Kyle faced his emotions head-on in last week's show, but he takes a risk the following week. In a vulnerable moment, Kyle arrives at Summer's house, soaked from the rain, and with desperate eyes. "Please, Summer." His voice cracks as he continues, "I can't lose you again." Summer, who always exudes grace and strength, makes an effort to maintain her composure. "We've experienced this so many times, Kyle. Something happens each time I begin to trust you once more. Just because you're confused doesn't mean you can keep breaking me." Kyle, however, doesn't give up. "I no longer feel perplexed. You are the one. The one has always been you." She nearly believes him for a terrible moment. There is no denying their chemistry, their shared past, and their unwavering devotion. However, her phone buzzes as Kyle reaches for her hand. Chance is here. Kyle's expression says it all. Once more, his timing couldn't be worse. He makes one final appeal. "Summer, don't let this be the end. Please." She hesitates though. "Kyle, I'm not sure if I can handle this any longer." With his heart broken, Kyle stands in the rain as the door quietly closes. On the other hand, supporters are aware that Kyle Abbott is a persistent person. Rumor has it that he may be going too far with his next move. 3 newcomers will also be arriving in Genoa City, each with connections that could alter the town's power dynamics, as Claire and Kyle deal with emotional turmoil. First up is Dr. Isla Coring, a psychiatrist who was personally hired by Victor Newman to evaluate Claire's emotional condition following the frightening events. Isla is intelligent, perceptive, and uncannily serene. But Nikki finds something about her off-putting. She is too well-groomed, too endearing, and too practiced from the minute she enters the Newman ranch. Dr. Corin seems truly sympathetic as she works with Claire, yet there are hints that she might be hiding something. She poses the terrifying query: do you ever feel like someone close to you isn't who they say they are? During one of their sessions, Claire's eyes convey a mixture of skepticism, bewilderment, and terror. Is Dr. Corin related to Jordan's history? Or worse, does she belong to the same network that brainwashed Claire in the past? Victor dislikes mysteries that he did not invent, and the Newman family could be shocked by what he discovers when he begins researching the excellent doctor's past. Roman Vega, a charismatic businessman known for rescuing failed companies, and allegedly having a talent for shattering hearts, is the second arrival. He is brought in by Jill Abbott to advise Chancellor Winters in an effort to ease tensions between Deben and Billy. But there's more to Roman's presence than just business reorganization. In a few days, he attracts Lily Winters' attention and sparks fly. Their initial encounter is intense. A contentious argument about leadership devolves into light-hearted banter, and soon Lily is grinning like she hasn't in months. Roman, however, is more than simply a pretty face. He's concealing something beneath his dapper facade, possibly a relationship with Tucker McCall, who appears remarkably curious about the new consultant's past. Jill starts to worry that she could have let a wolf into the boardroom, as Roman starts acting in ways that could further polarize Chancellor Winters. Of all the new arrivals, the third is the most enigmatic. After years overseas, tech prodigy Natalie Pierce, who was once involved in Newman Enterprises' covert projects, reappears in Genoa City. Adam, who previously collaborated with her on cybersecurity projects, is particularly affected by her return, which shakes the Newman and Abbott communities. Although Natalie says she is returning to establish a new software company, her true motivation appears to be far more intimate. She has been going through Victor's personal documents in an attempt to find something or someone connected to her past. According to rumors, Natalie may be involved in a clandestine operation that Victor buried years ago, one that could permanently damage the Newman Empire's reputation. Her charm and cleverness win people over as she discreetly meets Nick and then runs into Sharon, but her presence is anything but innocent. Some ghosts don't stay buried, no matter how powerful the man who tried to hide them, Natalie says in a mysterious statement to Sharon at the end of the week. As the threats increase, Claire's story gets more intense. She hears footsteps in the corridor one evening while watching Harrison at the Abbott mansion. The lights flutter. Harrison's toy car moves independently across the floor. Claire yells, "Who's there?" as she clutches Harrison. Quiet. Then a murmur. You are unable to change who you are. The intruder has left by the time Kyle and Diane dash in, but a rose is on the floor and the window is open. Claire is completely unnerved by the unsettling detail, the identical type of rose Jordan used to leave as a gift. Still hurting from his breakup with Summer, Kyle experiences a wave of protectiveness. My son and you, Claire, are safe from harm. I swear. His tenacity causes friction with Diane, who worries that his increasing intimacy with Claire may reawaken old scars he cannot afford to deal with. However, Kyle appears to have a new purpose for the first time: to keep Claire and Harrison safe from the evil force that is encroaching. Victor Newman resolves to take matters into his own hands after learning of the renewed threats against Claire. He summons Nick, Victoria, and even Adam to a confidential conference at Newman Enterprises. Victor says, "Someone is out there trying to terrorize our family again. And before they discover us, I will locate them." Adam is unable to avoid a jab. Perhaps it's karma holding the legendary Victor Newman accountable. Victoria glares at him, but even she is aware that Victor may not be the only person with enemies who can do this. Victor employs a private security firm in secret as the probe gets more intense. The team's surprising revelation that the car outside Claire's house belongs to someone at Newman Enterprises, however, is the last surprise. The family is shocked to learn that one of them may have been responsible for the threats. The Young and the Restless's upcoming episodes are expected to have all the romance, tension, and heart-stopping turns that keep viewers riveted to their screens. Claire's horror has just begun. Retaliation and redemption are at odds in Kyle's heart, and Genoa City will never be the same after 3 new faces agitated the situation. By the time everything is said and done, alliances will fall apart, loyalties will change, and one shocking betrayal will leave everyone wondering, who can you really trust in Genoa City anymore?